Well, it's September. We're getting into the seasonal changes, and that causes a lot of mental health things to be triggered for a lot of people. So I thought it's a
Yes.
good time for people to think about what comforts you, what helps you as you adjust to different changes and things like that. So thank you for talking with me. And everybody, please watch this episode.
Which you're not gonna hear unless you do.
Yeah, thank you for watching this
Thank you for
episode.
watching this episode. You should put that at the beginning. Hey, please watch this episode. Okay. Have you thought about recording?
This,
Yeah,
welcome to the High Contrast Podcast. I'm Eric.
I'm Will. You mean we've been recording this whole time?
Not this whole time.
I mean, for the last several months,
For the last several months.
for the last several years,
Oh, right. Like, yeah, sorry.
decade,
So you're gonna want to go to YouTube and you're gonna want to search at well,
almost.
high underscore contrast. I think I don't remember how
It
we
it
got
comes up high contrast podcast if you just on YouTube at least if you search that.
it does.
Um, I mean, it's one of the top results for me, but that's probably because I've watched them before.
It doesn't pop up for me.
Oh, maybe that's because you're publishing it. Let me see. High contrast podcast. The playlist, or sorry, podcast
Yeah, immediately
is
the
the
Superman
first
episode popped up.
first result. You view full podcast. Yeah.
Finally, what the hell? That's
Yeah,
amazing.
man. Hell
So,
yeah.
okay, let me do that again. Okay, it still worked. All
Hmm.
right, so then how does the Superman episode have 8 views?
I see. That's weird. I see 12.
You see 12 views?
Yeah.
Oh no, 12 is on Sinners.
I see Superman 12. I
Okay.
also see 12 for Sinners as well, but
Kiss Kiss Bang
um,
Bang and the Nice Guys, 7 views, so under viewed and underrated.
9 for me. Why am I seeing a different view count?
I don't know, that's weird. The Substance got 19 views. Dune Part 2 got 24.
I see 24 for Doom, but I see 20 for the Substance. What is happening? Hey, YouTube, I know you're listening because you can't help it. Can you boost that a little bit without us paying for it?
But the thing I think is still our highest view count. It's got 63.
Yes, the thing, La Cosa.
So that's the High Contrast Podcast State of the Union. So
You know,
uh
I try and not wear the same clothes, but I see now that I'm wearing the same thing that I was wearing a couple episodes ago. Oh well. I think I'm the only one that cares.
I
Um,
probably, yeah, I'm
I like this shirt,
yeah.
but I was like, I'm pretty sure I wore my tiger shirt on the last one, so I won't wear that. And I was right looking at it now, but I was wrong in that I was wearing this shirt just in the Sinners video. So,
Yeah.
oh well.
So we're in our comfort mood today, our Purple Halloween,
Hmm.
because we are talking comfort movies.
Yeah, it's
Uh
fall, which means or sorry, it's September, which means it's fall, which means it's Halloween.
which means it's Halloween, which means it is Joro Spider season, which made the season just too spooky for me.
There's
And
so many. They're so sticky. Like I will walk through and I'll have to like peel webs off of me. Their webs are incredibly strong, and they will make webs like in front of your door. Like you
that's
walk
that's
outside.
not fair. That's
It's not fair.
not okay. I can handle the little man ones.
Mhm.
The ones that have like the long front legs and they just look they look kind of fun. They look kind of interesting. But I cannot handle the big ones, and I cannot handle the invasiveness of which they're like, I won't come in your house, but your house is my house.
Right. I will
Like,
be right outside at all times watching.
and like, oh,
Hey, if it makes you feel any better, I've walked through dozens of Joro spider webs, and I've only noticed spider zombie like twice.
twice.
Noticed.
Oh gosh.
I thought we were talking about comfort movies. We were talking about discomfort.
Yeah, so how do we escape from
The
creepy
web.
crawlies?
Oh.
Um, the web. Um, good gosh, the internet is a nightmare.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Oh, like
yeah.
the web. Okay, got it.
With Paul and Clue, right? That's
Paul and Clue. Hell
the
yeah.
main ones.
Hey, I've seen those movies.
Yeah, you have. So I wanted to do a non-traditional thing. So I guess you could call this the immediate critics critique segment. There are several comfort movies that I would put forth. I don't know if you have like a list, a will of movies that you find like comforting for different reasons around holidays or whenever or whatnot.
Sure.
But I'm not quite talking guilty pleasure movies, and I'm not quite talking good movies. I'm talking movies that it just like it feels so good to watch that I keep coming back to them over and over again. So I think the best movie that I consider a comfort movie is The Green Mile.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
And the worst movie that I consider a comfort movie is Ted 2.
Wow. Okay. I've never
Yeah.
seen Ted 2. I've only seen the first one.
It's good. I legitimately enjoy both of those movies. Like I know people like irritate like I don't know. Like Seth MacFarlane's a whole thing. A Million Ways to Die in the West, one of the worst movies I've ever seen. But uh but Ted 1 and Ted 2 I think both like hold up fairly well. Like I sucks that Mila Kunis is not in it, but Amanda Seyfried's whole thing is like fine. And I like when they go to Comic Con in the movie and they make a whole bunch of like gags about being at a place like that. And which also brings me immediately back to Paul because that's how they start
Mhm.
at Comic Con. But no, I think the movies that I watch that are like the most I have to be doing something stressful. So what's something that feels comforting that I put on that I watch? Or I have been going through a rough time. What's something that helps me feel almost like I'm escaping from that into somewhere that feels safe? And some of the movies that I come back to that make me feel the most like at ease, that almost a therapeutic sense are Paul and I'm not even sure if this counts as a good movie. This could potentially be just like but it's The Forbidden Kingdom
Oh, yeah. Okay.
with
I've never
Jackie
seen
Chan
that.
and Jet Li. Um, it is definitely it's it crosses it walks this line of co-opting like martial arts movies and artists to make like a traditional American blockbuster
Mhm.
in a way that it kind of feels like they're taking something that has a lot of culture to it and making something shallow out of it, but the characters are so well performed and the stunt work is so on point. The showdown between Jackie Chan and Jet Li is so iconic, and like the characters in the world is so fun to be in that I feel like you can actually see the pieces of the movie that would have been split into three movies, and you can see what the three movies would have been as they are montaging forward in time to get through to the end of the story in one movie.
Mm.
So, like for example, when oh, it's not Justin Long, but uh
Now that's a movie. Jet Li, Jackie Chan, and Justin Long.
I mean, it basically is the same thing. The
Steve Zahn. I'm trying to think.
Michael Angarano from Sky High.
Whoa, I haven't thought of that guy in a long time. That used to be one of my comfort movies, though, by the way.
Sky
Sky
High?
High. I love that movie.
Yeah. Michael Angarano stars and is like the guy who gets this staff in the future and has to return the staff to the Monkey King and starts the whole thing.
Oh, okay.
So he goes back into the past, and uh has to go on this journey where he meets his mentor, Jackie Chan, who they do this amazing thing that has been done once in this movie and once in the piece of shit Three Musketeers movie, where they do this clever thing with language where there's something magical about it, and the characters are speaking Chinese, their native language. But it's this beat. Michael Angarano is hearing Jackie Chan talk to him in Chinese, and he's like, I can't understand you. And then he just starts speaking English, and just like, that's because you're not listening.
Hmm.
And you just kind of know from there on out that even though everyone is speaking English, they're not.
Yeah.
But something magic about his transportation there is allowing him to understand and communicate with them. So they do the same thing in that POS Three Musketeers movie where they've been speaking English the whole time, but you know how like someone says something complicated and someone goes in English. There's a point
Yeah.
where D'Artagnan is getting like berated verbally by someone, and he's like in French, and it's just like thing. That's all you needed to know. Like the whole time they're actually speaking French. Like I really thought that was one of the cleverer things about that horrible waste of talent movie.
This is the one with Mila Jovovich, not the one with Jeremy Irons and others.
That's Man in the Iron Mask.
Well, there was a Three Musketeers before that as well.
That was the one with Chris O'Donnell and Charlie Sheen.
Is that not a sequel to that movie?
No, it is not.
I could have sworn that Man in the Iron Mask was a sequel to The Three
No,
Musketeers.
Man in the Iron Mask is an R-rated drama, and Three Musketeers with Chris O'Donnell was a Disney PG.
Huh.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I guess today I learned.
Yeah. There's Three Musketeers was all the rage at one point, so they just made.
Just keep making movies.
Um.
Is it like that Russell Crowe? Wait, no, there was another Robin Hood, wasn't there? With Jamie Foxx? I was
Yes,
thinking
Taron
just
Egerton.
like wow, there's
Yeah.
they just can't stop. They just can't stop making milk toast movies about European history fiction.
But yeah, so Jason Tripidicus, Michael Angarano's character Jason,
Yeah.
meets him and then meets this girl who wants revenge on this evil Jade warlord, and they all end up on a journey together where they encounter Jet Li, who is someone who is looking for Jason, Michael Angarano. And you can kind of see how the first movie would be all about them coming together in this climactic battle of the characters all seeming opposed to one another and having to help each other and coming together and realizing they all face a common struggle with a common enemy. And Michael Angarano begins to learn kung fu. And the second movie was clearly their journey to the Jade Empire, which takes them like tonally away from like populated grassland into a desert where he is training in martial arts, and there's this B plot villain who's introduced. She's like this woman with like white hair that acts like a whip and like does all this stuff. And like there's just this very clear second story that's happening where the climax is a showdown with this girl with the white hair, and she fatally wounds Jackie Chan, who's supposed to be an immortal. And it takes them to this temple where they look over the immortals, where the tone finally shifts to the third act, where Jason goes to confront people himself to try and get this magic elixir to save Jackie Chan's life. And you can just clearly see 1, 2, 3 how it would have worked. And I think one of the best, I can't use the clip. I'm not editing the clips into the things because I'm just not messing with YouTube and its algorithm or anything like
Right.
that.
Yeah.
But there is this beautiful scene that'll play for you sometime, or I'll send you the link to it, where there's just like uh choral music, like singing music. And they're sitting and they're waiting for a sandstorm to pass in the desert. And Michael Angarano is just kind of whining a little bit about like, what if I'm enough? What if I can't handle it? What if I can't do anything? And Jet Li's in this meditative state and just turns to him and just really patiently says, "Don't forget to breathe." And it's like all he needs to hear. And it's that warm, tingly feeling that makes me feel like it's not some like wise, like I need to say something that's trademark TM wise in order to
Yeah.
like make a point. It's just he's a teacher and he's a student, and like there's so many fun little twists and turns in it, and it's great. And I just like watched that movie with my son for the first time, and he, much as he at sometimes can't control himself from wanting to dance when he hears good music in a movie, just he could not stop himself, just could not, from getting up and doing martial
And
arts
grooving.
as they were doing martial arts. It was it was like a top 20 moment
Top
of
20.
yeah, there's a lot of moments. So like it was up there though. Um uh yeah, just like really well cast, really good movie. Um but what does the internet think of the Forbidden Kingdom? Cinema score A minus. Uh, Metacritic is the one that I'm doing now. Oh yeah, there we go. 57.
Oh.
I mean, I'm curious how that, maybe because of like the popularity of the Jackie Chan and Jet Li team up, Cinema Score would have given it higher rating. Oh no, generally favorable 6.5 for users. Critics is like mixed or average. Um, IMDb. I don't think I'm gonna do all of them for all of these. I might just go to Letterboxd
Hmm.
for most of these. But I'm kind of curious because this one has so many reasons to potentially poke holes in it being like, like cultural appropriation or something close to that. And I'm curious if it was just non-offensive enough that everyone is like, uh, yeah, no, it gets a pass. So I'm expecting like a C average, like a 75, 76 on IMDb, and it has a 6.5. So it pulled lower, which is hard to get
Hmm.
away from. So, okay. Um, Rotten Tomatoes. Oh yeah, John dies at the end. Ah,
I've never seen that movie.
author
I've read the
Jason
book.
Pargin. You have read the book.
Yeah.
That's Jason Pargin. David Wong is Jason Pargin. I'm starting to worry about that Black Box of Doom. That book that I've been like pushing like two different times is written by that author, but it's not as like crass as John dies at the end. That book was written like 25 years ago, like in short stories that were compiled together. It's a much like different, like matured, rounded out kind of tone. But uh yeah, the movie that they made was from the guy who made Bubba Hotep. And there is definitely a part in it that is not good enough, but by and large, the casting was almost perfect, and they keep the tone, like the feel of the book, really true through most of the movie until you get into the CGI otherworld, like garbly green screen nonsense. And Mr. Krabs plays somebody important.
Clancy Brown.
Yeah, that's what I said. Okay, 63. So it's a full tomato, not a rotten tomato.
Hmm.
And it's a full popcorn bucket, but it's like 63 and 60. So yeah, people are just like, it's okay. For me, it's like, oh, what cinema? um,
Absolute cinema.
yes. So let me just go to Letterboxd and actually pull up the app and see what happens here. Some other comfort movies for me include the two Horrible Bosses movies. Okay, 3.0. A 3.0 out of 5. You will Wow.
So average.
Yeah. Yep. Directed by Rob Minkoff. I hope he's not bad guy. Yeah, so I'll talk about my big one, but let's talk about Clue for a minute.
Clue? Hey,
Clue.
I've seen that movie. I first saw Clue on Comedy Central, and then I saw Clue on Comedy Central, and then I also saw Clue on Comedy Central because they played it pretty much every day. And I finally got the DVD in like 2007 for like a 40-year-old movie now. Um, 40 years
Yep.
old. Look at
Yep.
that. I was right on the money. Clue is the best movie adaptation of a board game I've ever seen. Their Battleship notwithstanding. Clue was like a who's who of 80s comedians,
Mhm.
directed, I think, by John Landis. No, story by John Landis. I
Jonathan
don't.
Lynn.
Jonathan Lynn. Okay. What else has Jonathan Lynn directed? I couldn't tell you. I guess I could click a couple of times and find out. Oh, My Cousin Vinny. Okay. That movie's really good. That is probably in the running for a new comfort movie, to be honest, because I saw it for the first time just a couple years ago, and it's phenomenal. Clue is excellent. I was saying it's a who's who of 80s comedians, and Tim Curry plays Wadsworth, the butler, who's kind of like guiding the story. I hesitate to say there's a protagonist at all.
Mhm.
There really isn't, because it is the board game Clue. Like
Mhm.
it follows all of those characters that you can play as, and there they are. Yeah, that's them. That is Professor Plum, Wadsworth, Miss Scarlet, Miss Peacock, Yvette, Mrs. White, Colonel Mustard, and Mr. Green. This movie is kind of. Join me, Eric, on a trip through history to learn about a genre of movie that doesn't really get made anymore. There's only a couple of examples that I can think of, and that's Glass Onion and Knives Out.
Mhm.
And that's the Who Done It, spelled like this.
Yeah.
Um, not
Yeah.
like the actual words Who Done It.
Yeah.
And so like they were murder mysteries. Clue harkens back to murder mystery movies, Who Done It movies, but nothing is taken seriously at all. Like, in fact, there's a line at one point, 3 murders. This is getting serious. Or I just wanted to check the lounge. Yep, 3 corpses. Everything's fine. It's at no point do you feel any sort of tension, despite the fact that people are dying. And I love that.
Mhm.
It's exactly how this movie should be. I Before I continue, I want to say like Clue is one of those movies I watch all the time. There are others like The Thing that we've already talked about, and you might say, how could such horrendous body horror be a comfort movie? Well, it is.
It just can
Uh,
be. We just
Another one is. Oh, go on.
did the Dead Meat podcast just did a whole hot sauce summer where they did
Mm-hmm.
all 10 Saw movies back to back as their episodes.
Hey, my partner and I just did that, but we didn't talk about it.
Well, because of that, I bought Saw 10 and watched Jigsaw and Spiral for the first time and went through the whole series again. It's rough, buddy. I love the Dead Meat podcast, but my brain is not equipped to to suspend disbelief enough for that franchise for the most part. But we have never seen Saw 10, and so we're actually watching it tonight for a movie night.
I would love to know what you think of Saw 10.
Okay.
I would love to know what you think
Should we
of it
do that
because
for
I
October?
Saw 10.
Yeah.
Hang on, let me look. I cannot say anything about it because I was getting ready to tell you exactly what I thought of Saw 10, and now I will not.
Okay. Saw 11 got canceled, so they were going to actually directly follow up Saw 11 with that, but they are now officially gone into another reboot like plan for,
That's
which is a bummer.
God, I want to say so much.
The one thing that I do endorse about that whole thing, about them talking about it being a comfort movie series, is the soap opera drama is what's it. And
That's for sure. Yeah, that's
like
I never thought of it that way, but absolutely.
like it's so rich when it's so like contrived and convoluted and constant twists and turns of who it is. Like the movies
They
that
have to keep twisting themselves in knots just to keep the franchise going.
yeah, which but it's
He's
great.
dead. He's dead from like 4 to
Three.
9.
He dies
From
in
3
three.
to 9. And it's so well, we have to keep bringing what's his name back,
Yeah,
Tobin Bell.
Tobin
We
Bell.
have to keep bringing him back because we don't have a franchise without him. It is a soap opera, absolutely. There's so much I want to say about Saw 10, Saw X. The only thing I will say is that it's a real shame they canceled 11
Okay. Okay.
because God, okay. Flip side, we watched all of the Fast and Furious movies, steady decline
Yeah.
all the way down. With the last one, so bad. It's one of the worst movies I've ever seen in my life.
Nine to me is the second worst. Three I thought was pretty bad, and you're absolutely wrong about two. So
2 is the best movie in the franchise. Are you kidding me? Top 10 movies, period. Fast and Furious 2. Too Fast, Too Furious. One of the best movies I've ever seen. No lie.
but anyways, that's I mean that's Saw. We'll talk about Saw next time.
Weren't we talking about Clue?
We were talking about Clue. Yeah. So talk about
God, I want to talk about Saw X though. Okay, Clue. It's really good. Go watch it. But so like they watching it on Comedy Central commercial breaks didn't really mess things up, but watching it all in one sitting is the ideal way, I think, to watch it. It is so funny.
yeah.
And to me timely humor like referential humor can be funny beyond the reference. So for
Mhm.
example, in Airplane, there's a scene where 2 black men are using slang. It was called jive back then. And it was typically in African American subculture that you would hear jive. But it is treated in that movie as another language. And
Yeah. I
an
speak jive.
an older white woman comes up and says, "I speak jive," and she starts talking like them. And that's funny. But it was even funnier in like 1980 or whatever, because that was the mom from Leave It to Beaver.
Yeah.
So like it was kind of referential, but then it grew beyond that. Nobody knows Leave It to Beaver anymore, but it's still funny. I don't think there's a lot of referential humor in Clue. There is Mr. Green says, I won't wait for you to tell everyone here why I'm being blackmailed. I work for the State Department and I'm a homosexual. And Tim Curry is like, and starts looking through his papers. Like, what? But like broader sexuality is more and more accepted, despite what right-wing propaganda is trying to force down people's throats. Younger people are very open about sexuality, and it doesn't really matter nearly as much as it used to. Even when I was growing up, like homosexuality or any diversity in sexuality was sort of frowned upon, but better than the previous generation, and that was better than the previous generation, and so on. So him potentially losing his job because he's gay is kind of dated, except what with the fascist regime we're under now, like maybe it's not so dated. Who knows?
It's just weird because in the context of the movie, like broad strokes, it's kind of just like contextually it's a smoke and mirrors thing because of what the true ending of the movie
Oh,
is.
we'll get to that. Yeah, I have a lot to say about that.
So he said something that he thought was outlandish about himself so people would stop talking about him is what the context is.
That's I was going to come back to that because Tim Curry looking surprised and looking through his papers means that that's not in there.
Yeah.
And so yeah, that comes up later in the movie.
So it's one of those things that like technically like the movie is and isn't saying that would be like a scandalous thing. Because
But he could lose his job. That's the thing is if you were gay, you could not hold a position of any authority or execution in government.
Mm. Yeah, but like, yeah. So point stands.
But so like beyond that, there's constant comedy. Sometimes, excuse me, for some people it might land, for some people it might not. Like as soon as Tim Curry says, "Okay, I figured it out, and I'm going to tell you how it all happened," that point in the movie, you do need to pay attention. And I was going to say, like, comfort movies are like, to me, movies that you know so well, you don't necessarily have to pay attention. Mm-hmm. Once I hear that, it's like, okay, well, I'm paying attention because it's so funny and so well put together that I need to know what's happening here. You were about to say something.
Clue has a 3.9 out of 5 stars.
Okay.
Which is, again, good for something that, like, has so many people reviewing it. There's 17,000 fans. I don't know how many of them like actually count as ratings. I think that's what it's indicating. And you got classic comedy everyone should watch. Can't be funny. Tim Curry, I'll love you forever. I hated her so much that the flames on the side of my face, breathing breathless, heaving breaths.
Anyway, they all ran to that's what I was thinking of when I said like the humor may or may not land. That moment with Mrs. White where she's doing that and everyone is just like looking around. What is she doing? That sort of thing is so funny to me.
Yeah.
But I think 3.9 is reasonable. It's not a perfect movie.
Yeah, that's the thing. I think most comfort movies are personal. And that's why you should comment what yours are. Please
do it right now. Pause this video and comment yours, and then we'll trash it because we know what you're going to type ahead of time. Mm-hmm. So you mentioned the end of the movie.
Get out of here, this E.T. bullshit.
E.T. comfort movie. E.T. I've only seen that movie like twice, and I was not even 15, I think, either time. So I don't really remember that. I remember Reese's Pieces, and I remember my dad was really upset that they changed with CGI. The government people trying to catch E.T. no longer were carrying shotguns; they were carrying walkie-talkies.
Oh, I could have just said broad strokes Disney. Get out of here with that Disney bullshit.
Oh, Disney. No, I get it. I mean, Disney movies are made to be.
Yeah, but we're trashing what everyone's going to comment.
Oh, right. I forgot. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. The Long Kiss Goodnight sucks. It doesn't. It's really good, actually.
That's all. I immediately want to start. My impulse was to start listing Disney movies that I think are comfort movies. Like,
if anyone says Avatar, by the way, if anyone says Avatar, get out of here. Unsubscribe. I want you to unsubscribe. I want you to subscribe
I
And then
just
I want you to
like I
unsubscribe.
just like living in the world of Pandora, and that gives me like 6 hours to do that between both movies.
Boy, it sure does. Can you name a movie that is more forgettable than Avatar? It was 3D, except it was Dances with Wolves in space.
Hmm?
Um, oh, I never even saw the second one, but it somehow made so much money, and no one talks about it anymore.
Yeah.
God, it makes me feel like I'm taking crazy pills.
Hmm.
To quote Mugatu from Zoolander, great
The
movie.
trailer for the third one came out because they made four movies at once, so now they are going to come out three, four, and five are going to come out a couple of years apart because they're all in different stages of production. Um, so the trailer for the third one came out, and I like this is supposed to be the one where there's like that last one was the way of water. This one is fire and ash.
Oh,
And
just play
so,
Dark Souls.
but it just literally, I could not tell if half of the footage was supposed to be flashing back to the other movies or not because it was so indistinguishable. Like
Yeah.
I could tell the characters were supposed to be older. I could tell that people were in different places in their lives. I could tell that the dialogue wasn't the same, but it just looked so much like the exact same conflicts are happening that started in the first one. The exact same characters from the second one are transcending the same exact story. Oh, well, we can't live anymore. We got to go to another subculture of the aliens who live in a different climate and try and adapt to their culture. Like it really is. It's really interesting to me that this whole thing started off of them getting the rights to the name Avatar, so that the Avatar The Last Airbender movie had to be called The Last Airbender. And they're going with Avatar, the people who fly in the air, Avatar The Way of Water,
Oh,
fire and
interesting.
ash. Like that they're doing this elemental thing. It's
So you're saying that they should sue James Cameron anyway?
you know
Hell, I'll sue James Cameron. Jim, I'm coming for you. I don't know what I'm going to sue you about. But I know
just
this isn't the first time. Like that guy who basically wrote Terminator and then you stole it.
yeah, or the art. I think it was all about the art.
Oh, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
So Clue. Clue's pretty good. So on I also want to mention IMDb. It has a 7.3 out of 10, which I think is a hair low.
Hmm.
I think an 8 is probably what it deserves.
Yeah.
Because again, it's not perfect. There's some moments of just like, why are we doing this? And there's some filler, but it's all good. Like at no point is it like not enjoyable. Does that make sense? A double negative has once again proved positive. I'm afraid that, sorry, that's from the movie. I don't remember the rest of the line. So the ending is so good. And it would have been better. I wish I had seen this movie in the theater because there were three endings to the movie. If you have the DVD, the
It
movie
plays
will,
them all.
well, I was going to say the movie will play through, the ending will happen, and then a title card comes up and says, hey, that's how it could have happened, but what about this? And then it plays an entirely different ending. And then it does it again. There's three endings to this movie. When the movie was released, movie theaters got an ending. So they would sometimes they would tell people, they would be like, you're gonna watch ending B if you come see our movie. You're gonna see ending A if you come see it here. But like so like if you went back to the office and you said, oh, did you see Clue? Oh yeah, wasn't it cool that Mrs. Peacock was the killer? Is like, wait, what are you talking about? No, Wadsworth was the killer. What are you talking about? And it's like, oh, what? So I think you would be hard pressed to do this effectively, but like subtle differences in movies from one theater to another would be a really interesting way to get conversation going.
Yeah. I think there is a feature on this Blu-ray that you can choose to play with a
Oh yeah,
randomly selected ending or
absolutely.
with all three endings.
Yeah, which I haven't done, I don't
Yeah,
think,
me
because
either.
I've only ever watched it with all three. Now, I will tell you they wrote a fourth ending. Would you like to hear about
Oh
it?
my gosh, yes, please.
It is in the novelization of Clue. And okay, um, Wadsworth explains how he killed Mr. Body and the other victims, then reveals to the guests that they've all been poisoned, leaving no witnesses to his perfect crime. As Wadsworth proceeds to disable the phones, the police chief, having previously posed as an evangelist, returns with a squad of officers who disarm Wadsworth. He nonetheless manages to escape, attempts to get away in a police car, only to crash after Doberman's attack from the backseat. I've
Man,
never
Chekhov's
heard of
Doberman.
this. Yeah, yeah.
That's great.
The Dobermans at the beginning of the movie, and then they show up for one gag where he tells Mr. Green to sit, and then they don't show up again. Not you, sir. I was talking to the dogs.
Yeah. Well,
Uh,
that's funny because it's actually they kind of rule
oh
of
no,
three it,
they
and then they never because they show up at the back
yeah at the in the glass.
in the glass. Yeah.
Like he's gonna break the
So
glass to
they
escape, and the
introduce them
dog shows up.
once. They remind you of them once, and then they attack Wadsworth in the back of a police car. It would be great, actually.
Yeah, instead of threatening Mr. Body in the greenhouse.
Yeah.
The conservatory, I think, is what that is.
Conservatory.
Tim Curry's amazing in this
Mhm.
movie as well. Also, I thought there were a couple of
Curry's a legend.
lines. He is still alive, I think.
And
just
Pun
had a
intended,
stroke.
because he was basically Satan in Legend.
Yeah, he was in Legend. He was the Darkness. Is that the
Yeah.
character's name?
Yeah.
I've only seen that movie once when I was a kid. I don't know if I should have seen it as a kid,
Mm-hmm.
but I
weird.
sure did. Bighorned guy is
Mhm.
what my wife calls him. There were a couple of lines said by Professor Plum and Tim Curry that were clearly ADR'd, and I thought that it was because I was watching it on Comedy Central that they were taking out curse words, because that's a thing that used to happen. Probably still does, but nobody watches TV anymore. And like so who did I kill? Says Professor Plum, and he says, my butler. And he goes, "Aw, shucks," is what the audio is. It's like, that's not what he said. But then I watched the DVD, and that's in the movie. And I was like, oh, did they just want to like pare down how many curse words were in it? And the same with spoiler, when Wadsworth gets shot in the final ending, he says, "Oh, good shot, Green." But I'm pretty sure that's not what he says. I couldn't tell you what he says, but that's not it. Also, do you know what Tim Curry's best role is? It is Premier Cherdenko in Command and Conquer.
Is it?
The one, if you haven't seen this, I will send it to you after this. The one place that hasn't been corrupted by capitalism. You don't know about that? Oh my God, it's so good. I will send it to you.
Okay.
Anyway, watch Clue. It's good. I could put Clue on any hour of any day. I will tell you right off the bat, there is another comfort movie that I thought about using.
Mm-hmm.
And I know it's one that both of us really love. And that's In Bruges. In Bruges is a movie where I was like, oh, I want to watch this part near the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll just watch that part. And I was like, well, there's another part coming up and I want to watch that. And so I watched that. And then I was like, well, there's another part. And then I end up spending all 2 hours watching that movie.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, well, I guess I watched In Bruges again. I can't, it is definitely a comfort movie for sure. But I don't want to, if anyone in our audience is younger than 18, that's not a movie that I want to send people to see. Instead, highly stylized comedy violence is what I want people to see in Clue,
Mm-hmm.
instead of outright violence in Bruges.
Yeah.
I was my friend and I were the only people laughing in the theater
Because in Bruges.
and in Bruges, because one of the things I admire about In Bruges is it never signals how you're supposed to feel about anything. Because in a comedy,
yeah.
you'll have subtle clues. It's like, okay, the time to laugh is coming. Okay, the time to laugh is here. So laugh. In Bruges, you don't get that, but there are really funny things that happen. And if you laugh, you laugh. If you don't, you don't.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, like you can describe scenes. If you tried to describe to someone how a scene is funny in the movie, like for example, shooting the blank in the guy's eye, that scene is hilarious. But
yes.
describing it, it doesn't sound funny. And it sounds like when he says, like, of course you can't see, I just shot a blank off in your fucking eye. Like, it's like that's the funny line. Like, yes, it's hilarious in context in the movie. Like, it's amazing.
to to me, it's the intersection of deeply serious concepts and comedy,
Yeah.
such as when he's been tasked to kill Colin Farrell. Colin Farrell sitting on a bench. He pulls out his gun and he's going to shoot Colin Farrell. Colin Farrell pulls out a gun and is about to shoot himself, and he says,
What are you
"Stop!
doing?
What are you doing?" He's like, "Nothing.
What are you doing?
What are you doing?" And he sees his gun and he, "Nothing." It's so funny. And the nooks and crannies, because like nobody in the movie thinks that's funny.
Yeah,
Like
no.
Yuri talking about nooks and crannies. What's he going on to you about the alcoves?
Yeah.
It's so good.
Ray
And then
Fiennes. Oh my gosh.
I retract the bit about your kids.
Going after my kids. That's going overboard, mate. I retracted it, didn't
I'm sorry that I called you an inanimate object. I gotta watch that movie again. Oh my god.
Yeah, so a quick rundown of movies that I consider comfort movies would be Back to the Future, Scott Pilgrim versus the World,
That's a
um,
good one.
The Lord of the Rings
Oh, sure.
entire trilogy, um, 10 Things I Hate About You,
Oh, wow. Okay.
um, Chungking Express, um, oh gosh, I kind of want to just like run through my whole thing because I feel like there's gonna be one where I'm like, oh, and I'm gonna like miss it. But I'm really building up to the one that is the one.
The One, starring Jet Li and starring Jet Li.
Good gosh, no. Um, um, Shane Black stuff is like a pretty good one.
Like The Nice Guys.
The Nice Guys, Long Kiss Goodnight, like you mentioned before, Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, kind of. That one's really more just straight entertaining to me. The Nice Guys has a little bit of that comfort movie like feel to it. Um, I own Hot Tub Time Machine.
Can I quote you on that?
That's yeah, that's weird. I did
I
not
own
realize
Hot
that.
Tub Time Machine.
Or a copy, whatever. Oh, Jumper used to be one.
I
Uh,
like that movie.
Hayden Christensen. Yeah,
I
I
think
don't
it
think
was a
that one is
little
anymore.
undercooked.
Yeah. Abigail and Lisa Frankenstein from last year are two big ones that I think are going to become over time. Bullet Train is an action movie, comfort
Oh,
movie,
yeah.
like
Yeah.
amazing. Um, um, oh, movies that don't age well,
Oh, boy.
cannot age well, and is only a comfort movie for a very specific soured purpose is Miss March, movie that Trevor Moore
Wow.
and Zach
Yeah.
Kreger made together. Uh, Rest in peace, Trevor Moore. His next movie, Weapons, just came out, which was going to be the one that I recommend that you see that we maybe talk about for October, but I'm cool with doing Saw for October because we'll have
Mhm.
seen them all. Um, before Zach Kreger made Barbarian and Weapons, like he did this sketch comedy team with like this group of people, and Trevor Moore was with it, and he and Trevor
He was
Moore,
he was part of Whitest Kids You Know, Zach Kreger.
Zach Kreger, yeah, is one of the main cast.
Wow, I had no idea that was the same guy.
He's also the star of Miss March with Trevor Moore, and they both wrote it.
That's him. Yeah. Oh my
Yeah,
god.
yeah. Um,
Oh, he made Companion too. I didn't know that.
no, he produced Companion.
Produced. Okay.
Yeah. They really sold Companion off of his name, though. They were like pushing, like, right. I think it was because their marketing strategy for Companion. Uh, it was a movie that had a lot of twists and turns in it and was kind of a horror movie, but they failed. With Barbarian, they did an amazing job of selling that movie off of the first half and keeping everything underneath a secret. And with Companion, they failed to do that miserably. Um, uh,
Hey, don't forget, you still haven't talked about Paul.
that's the one I'm leading up to. I really want to speak to like the movies that like feel like warm and comforting, but like one that I have just watched time and again. I've seen it more than most movies in my life, except for ones that I watched all the time growing up as a kid. Like rewatching Harry Potter as those movies came out one by one, Lord of the Rings, things like that. Paul came out in 2010 and was sold off of the popularity of Shaun of the Dead and Hot Fuzz, and a lot of people confused it at the time as being the third Blood and Ice Cream movie,
Yeah.
but it wasn't. It was starring also Seth Rogen as Paul, who did an amazing job, I think. Um, it is another R-rated movie, though there is an unrated version that is like 6 minutes longer. Um, it's directed by Greg Mottola. It is written by Simon Pegg and Nick Frost, but not Edgar Wright, which is why it is partially separate. That's part of the reason why it's separate from the Blood and Ice Cream movies. Um, they are just such sharp writers,
Mhm.
and it feels like hanging out with friends from beginning to end. That movie does. It feels like hanging out with friends, talking about all the things you like in a way that's kind of like Tarantino popularized characters talking about pop culture and these like kind of hangout gangster movies. Like
Mm.
Paul is like an adventure movie. It's not a hangout movie like Dazed and Confused, which is another comfort movie of mine. Um, but Paul is like two geeks who are into some of the same things I'm into get to live out an adventure fantasy of theirs, but live in the real world and interact, with like some cartoonish characters. The cast is stacked with talent that went on to do bigger things and you probably could never get back now, like Bill Hader. Um,
Hmm.
I don't know his name, but he has a leading role in Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Um, uh, Patrick Bateman, um, Sigourney Weaver, like Simon Pegg, Nick Frost, Seth Rogen.
Did you say Patrick Bateman? Do you mean um
Arrested Development. What?
Jason Bateman? Is that his
Jason
name?
Bate? No, is it?
What is
Now
his
I
name?
now I don't. I think it is Jason Bateman.
Yes. Okay, Jason Bateman. Maybe I misheard you, but I was like, wait a minute.
No, I did say Patrick Bateman,
Okay.
which is just a totally different movie. But
I
uh,
was like, when was he in Ball?
I would love to see a movie where Christian Bale plays Patrick Bateman as a manic guy who's chasing after an alien. But no, like uh Jesse Plemons has a role as like a redneck trucker in the movie.
Really?
Yeah. Alongside the guy who was in Thank You for Smoking and The Office uh and Hot Tub Time Machine. I don't remember his name. But yeah, he's a good character actor, but he always plays characters that are like unlikable, so he does a good job at being someone who's like annoying to watch.
Hmm.
So, but he's extremely talented. Jane Lynch shows up as a bartender at one point.
I think that's the first movie I saw Jane Lynch in.
Yeah, the guy who plays the Zodiac killer in Zodiac is the father of Kristen Wiig. Um,
Allegedly.
yeah. But in the movie, he is all but confirmed to be the Zodiac.
Well, Jake Gyllenhaal walks into the hardware store as like,
No, but then they do the thing where one of
well, they
the
say
McPoyle
like,
brothers from Always Sunny is like the kid grown up and points out that that's the man who
Mm.
shot
You're
me.
talking about Drew Carey's brother, right?
Is that Drew Carey's brother?
In the Drew Carey show. You're talking about
Oh,
the
I
big
haven't.
bald guy. Is that what you're talking
Yeah.
about?
Oh, you're for the trucker, the other trucker.
The Zodiac killer.
Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. I did not
Okay.
know he was Drew Carey's brother in the Drew Carey show.
That's what my wife always, no matter what kind of movie or show we're watching, she'll be like, "There's Drew Carey's brother."
Yeah. And then like Adam Shadowchild, the author that they're going after is played by a canceled actor also from Arrested Development. Um, what's that guy's name? The dad in Arrested Development.
Oh, I have pop pop in the head.
Yeah.
The fact that you call it that tells me you're not ready. What is his name? Jeffrey Tambor.
Jeffrey Tambor. Yeah, yeah. He like that's a cameo role in the movie, and there's like more like that like it's just that they all come in to do these little talented tiny pieces of comedy on the strength of Simon Pegg and Nick Frost's writing, and it just it feels like it gives me permission to be me.
Mm.
And like whatever else is going on in the world, if I feel really insecure about something or I feel a lot of anxiety about something, Paul is like the movie where it's like it doesn't matter. Like life is life. It's crazy for everybody. You love what you love and you know, do what you're going to do. And it's like one of the most life affirming things. And there's a lot of jabs at things that I think if this movie came out now, people would cry woke until the cows came home. Like it would. It's just funny how much movies are the same as they've always been, but people are like acting like they've changed. But whatever. Paul is incredible, and uh the ending of the movie is so cathartic. It's kind of like an orgy of happiness, which is the kind of stuff that makes me cry,
Mm.
where you just get to see like they could just end the movie with like the big ET goodbye where like the ship goes away and Paul goes away, but they give a happy ending to every character and do this giant massive bow tie to this like over the top song, and they do like continued scenes into the credits while art for the credits is rolling just to celebrate that they became authors and they became famous and like everything worked out well. And so it's just like it's this feel good movie that explodes like a firework and literally uses a firework in its climax. Like I adore Paul so much. It's one of my favorite movies ever. But it's like it's made partially for me. And I'm sure there are other people out there who would feel that way. I'm not saying it's like a me centric like thing, but like it definitely is not made for everyone. There's definitely people who would think of it as like lowbrow. There's definitely people who would uh not care about the references. I mean, like I think it is hilarious that Jason Bateman quotes Star Wars, but it's the most bizarre. He shoots the car he's driving with a gun.
Yeah.
Like he could just hang up the radio, right? Like the context in Star Wars that Han Solo says boring conversation anyway is he's trying to disrupt communication or, mess with the controls of something. He's trying to break a machine so that it doesn't operate anymore, so he shoots it. Jason Bateman is just in a conversation that's irritating him with Sigourney Weaver, and he just like blasts he shoots straight towards the engine of the car. It is like boring conversation anyway. It's like what? Also,
Well, that's what you got to do. That's what Han Solo did, even if it is his car.
yeah.
Well, government issue car.
Also, like little recurring jokes, like three tits. That's awesome. Like,
I don't remember that at all.
Okay, so I'm gonna explain this joke because it's one of those things that describes exactly how it hits my sense of humor, but in broad is like a joke that people would think is like crass. So Simon Pegg does the art for Nick Frost's writing,
Mhm.
and he does an illustration of like alien art for his book, in which he draws this like attractive alien green-skinned woman with three breasts. And every time someone sees the thing, like the first it's Bill Hader and the guy from Brooklyn Nine-Nine are scouring the van, and they pick up the book and he's like, three tits. That's awesome. And he gives it to the other guy and he's like, oh, that's awesome. You should have given her four tits. And Simon Pegg's like, that's just sick. And and then like Jason Bateman, who's supposed to be this hard ass, who is like, you guys got to get your shit together. You're letting an alien loose. Like, you need to listen to me. You need to do this. They're like, what happened? Tell me about the nerds in the van. Like, well, they had this book that they were writing, and the guy's like, yeah, and the girl in the front had three tits. He's like, three tits. That's awesome.
See, I wonder also if it's a reference to Total Recall.
I mean, it definitely isn't a reference to Total Recall. Everything that seems like a reference absolutely is a reference in this movie.
Right.
But but like it just Jason Bateman's character taking himself so seriously, but then
To
you
have
know
that moment.
the twist of the movie, I don't know if anyone's not seen it, it's 15 years old. The twist of the movie is Jason Bateman is trying to get to the alien first because he's his friend.
Hmm.
So in retrospect, even though he's been this hard ass the whole time where he's trying to be intimidating to the other police officers, it's because he is actually part of the protagonist team. So for him to have that little shade of light earlier on in the movie is like a sprinkle of why everything ends up feeling like a happy ending. Um
That's nice. I haven't seen it in
even
a while. I'd like to go back and watch it.
even the craziest thing, the way Bill Hader and the other guy end up dying. They full on die in the movie because they get tricked into driving off a cliff while the other characters go over a bridge. And they're like, "Oh my gosh, they're okay.
Oh yeah.
They're okay, right?" And in the rearview mirror, you see, and they're like, "Oh yeah, they're fine." But then during the credits, in the audience of everyone celebrating Simon Pegg and Nick Frost for their book, is a horribly scarred and burned guy from Brooklyn Nine-Nine being like, "Whoa, I
Is
love
it
you guys."
was his name Joe Latrulio? Is that who you're
Yeah,
talking about?
yes, yes. Yep. Joe Latrulio. Um, yeah. So let me look it up on Letterboxd.
Yes. Joe Latrulio plays a perfect weird little guy.
He does. The
Not just in Brooklyn
Boyle,
Nine-Nine and
Charles
Paul
Boyle.
and Superbad. I think that's the first movie I saw him in.
Oh, it was 2011. Sorry.
Whoa, this whole thing is invalidated.
Yeah.
Oh, he was in
Um,
Wet Hot American Summer too. I don't remember that.
yeah,
Mostly because I haven't seen it.
he is the weird little guy who wants to lose his virginity, but the other guy keeps, even though he hasn't lost his virginity, pretends that he has sex all the time, and he's like, "I want to be like you," and then like it's the whole thing. Actually, Joe Latrulio is in the movie Wet Hot American Summer, the first day of camp season of Wet Hot American Summer, and the 10 years later season of Wet Hot American Summer. All of them are great in different ways, except sometimes my mood completely turns and I'll watch the movie Wet Hot American Summer and my gut will just turn on it and I'll hate it.
Ah,
It's a really weird. It's like one way or the other. I either watch it and I think this is hilarious, or watch it and like this is like deeply annoying and uncomfortable. Like there's no in between. Um, but the first season, the first day of camp, that season, like I love it. It's hilarious. It's one of the best things. Um, Paul, 3.1 out of 5 stars. Does Edgar Wright know Simon Pegg and Nick Frost did a movie without him? Fernando Revolve. Um, I watched this super fucking high, and all I have to say is Sigourney Weaver hot. That's
it's true.
frames of Nick.
I'm gonna
Why
I'm gonna have to do that.
this? Why aren't Nick Frost and Simon Pegg my uncles? Amaya. Um, one of the funniest movies I've ever seen. All the characters work, and Paul is too funny. Just crazy alien story. kind of entertaining, kind of directionless. It's like there were some good bits in there. It kind of feels like a Reddit movie. Feels like they had an idea of what scenes they thought could be funny to have an alien, then loosely arrange the plot to hit all those beats. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's just a road movie, and I feel like road movies are kind of meandering like that. Um, yeah, there's so much of the writing, the shades of writing from the Blood and Ice Cream trilogy of setups and payoffs and recurring jokes is in the DNA of that script, and like it's Paul, and it's great, and that's my comfort movies. Do you have a list of movies? Do you have like other
Ooh.
ones that come to mind that you
No, I mentioned a few earlier, like Mean Girls. Oh,
Mean
I don't
Girls?
actually. I don't think I mentioned Mean Girls. I meant to. I mentioned The Thing, and the other one is Mean Girls. Probably those movies I watch every October, both of them. Naturally, because of Halloween for The Thing and October 3rd for Mean Girls, obviously.
Hmm.
Um,
Have you watched the remake yet?
no, I haven't. I've heard it's good. I've heard nothing
I'm
but good things from it.
I am curious about it. I wouldn't watch it like to replace the one. I would watch like
Sure.
traditional Mean Girls if you're gonna watch it on October 3rd. But
Oh yeah, no.
yeah, you should see it. It's
Ooh, it's a
interesting.
Friday. Maybe I can have people over to the house on October 3rd if y'all are willing and able. Um, anyway, The Thing, Mean Girls, In Bruges. I mean, like honestly, the first Star Wars,
Hmm.
the original Star Wars, because there's so much emotion in that movie. There's so much. It is unsullied by the thought of sequels and merchandising.
Hmm.
It is pure science fiction, fantasy, western. Like it's all these different things, and it's just there. They just made a good movie, potentially ripping off Hidden Fortress and other Akira Kurosawa movies in the process, but it's still so good.
Hmm.
Um, and that's certainly another one. I don't know. Predator.
Yeah.
I love Predator. It is so cool. Part of it's the soundtrack. Part of it is like the little sprinkles of humor, even though a lot of it's just crass. Um, the fact that they
Shane
had
Black.
Shane Black, yeah,
I mean, he
that's
didn't write
him.
it or anything, but like
I
he's
th-
there.
I think he's the first member of their team to die.
Yeah.
Spoiler. Um,
Because of
is
the echo.
he? No, I. When does he die? I think it's Jesse Ventura is the first. I'd have
I
to
don't
go back and
remember.
watch it now
Yeah, I
because
haven't watched it
I
enough.
think Shane Black dies off screen or something. Or is he the first one? I'd have to go back. I honestly don't remember what happens to Shane Black. I can think of everybody else's death in that movie other than Shane Black. Um, oh,
I don't own a copy of Predator. Yes, I do. I have a
bum, bum,
box
bum, bum,
set.
bum, 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 bum,
Yeah,
bum, bum, bum.
Predator 1, 2, and Predators. Yeah.
I've never seen Predators, nor have I seen The Predator.
You don't have to
Um,
watch The Predator. That one is
cool.
written by Shane Black and or directed by Shane Black.
Oh my
And
god.
it's like the worst movie he's ever done.
Um, I'm sorry to hear that. That's the one where predators are looking for people with autism, right?
Yeah, because they're the next evolution in human species and they're going to advance the human race. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I did see Prey, and then I saw the trailer for Predator
Predator
Badlands.
Badlands. And you were
Is
like,
that
oh
the sequel to
no.
Prey, or is
Yeah,
there Prey 2?
it's this it's not an actual sequel to Prey, but it is the next follow-up by the same director who made Prey.
Okay. And I watched it and I was like, okay. I was
Yeah.
really hoping for something more like Prey
Yeah.
because Prey,
Just a different time period. Because there's that animated movie that you like the trailer of. Yeah.
and that's out now. I just haven't watched it yet. It needs to be. Hey, you. It needs to be an anthology series about people interacting with the Yautja, the predator people. Did you see the Animatrix?
Yeah.
and how wildly different stories, all with the basis of the Matrix is involved somehow. That's what Predator should be.
Mm.
Just like completely different stories in tone and setting and everything, but that the Predator is around. Um, God, that would be so good. It's the same thing in my mind of the Lord of the Rings needs to be an anime series, which they kind of did with whatever the Rohirrim thing.
Oh yeah, that was
I
a
didn't see
good
that.
movie.
But like it needs to be a series, like season 1, Fellowship of the Ring, season 2, The Two Towers, season 3, Return of the King. It would be amazing. Like all the stuff that you couldn't visually do even in the early 2000s, you can do in animation. Like you can do whatever you want, and it can. The stuff like you can have it semi grounded in real reality in terms of animation, and then when Frodo wears the ring, it becomes like abstract. It becomes like an insane mess.
Yeah.
Same with like any scenes that take place in Mordor or anything. Like you could do so much. The Balrog. Like I would love to see a Balrog that is based on the description from the book, because it's very vague about like what the thing actually looks like. Like it talks about shadows like wings rather than like, oh, it had wings. It was like just, oh, this thing is evil. We need to get the hell out of here. Is what the Balrog is. But anyway, I could gush about Lord of the Rings all day. You mentioned the Lord of the Rings movies being a comfort movie. Absolutely. I think at Thanksgiving when my family came down, I just had that playing constantly in the background. Was the Lord of the Rings. I love it. It's almost time for me to read it again. I'm almost done with Shadow and Claw. Have you ever read Shadow of the Torturer, Claw of the Conciliator by Gene Wolfe?
No.
It's good. It's like sci-fi fantasy. At the same, it's one of those like it takes place so far in the future that it's the past. Does that make sense? Like we're society crested and then began a downhill thing that it's like fantasy and that we all live in hovels or big walled cities with technology from the Middle Ages.
Like post apocalypse into pre-civilization.
Well, later than pre-civilization, just not back to where we are now. Sort of like maybe pre-Victorian. I don't know. I like that you said Tatooine and I said pre-Victorian. I don't know. Maybe one of those. But like space and stuff is still going on. It's just the poors don't have that. But anyway, it's really good. And I think I'll read Lord of the Rings again after I finish that.
Okay.
But I think that's all my comfort movies. Predator's really good.
What is Skittles O'Henry up to right now? Because I know that I think there's a lot.
Yeah, Skittles O'Henry is back to playing video games on stream because Skittles O'Henry doesn't have a full-time job anymore. And if you can, for now, feel free to go to twitch.tv/Skittles O'Henry and follow and watch and comment and subscribe if you can. Because I would love to make content full-time. I'm going to be practicing with creating my own video content and uploading it to I think youtube.com/Skittles. I think I have that URL. I'm gonna have to check. And if I don't, I'll just create a new one. But I'm gonna be practicing starting with DaVinci Resolve. Just as a free software to mess around with. Just download random YouTube videos and then record myself and then play around with mixing those together and see what happens. I feel like I would probably enjoy video editing. If I know anybody that knows anything about video editing, I should probably reach out to them and ask. Who edits our stuff?
Some guy.
Some guy. That Eric guy, probably.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm currently playing Dusk because as I mentioned, it's September, which means it's fall, which means it's Halloween. I'm playing a first-person shooter that's horror-themed called Dusk. It's a lot of fun. I realized that I'm playing with the HD texture pack because I saw someone else playing Dusk, and I was like, oh, all of these guns they're using are super low poly and don't look nearly as detailed as the ones I'm playing. And it turns out I'm playing HD. I'm going to continue playing spooky games. I don't know if I've mentioned this on stream or not. There's a game I really want to play on stream called Who's Lila? Have I told you about that?
No.
It is sort of like a murder mystery or disappearance mystery where gameplay consists of you walking around like a city. Someone has disappeared and you have to talk to people. And during the course of conversations, the gameplay happens. Your face appears on one side of the screen. They will say something like, oh, did you hear that Jessica disappeared? You then have to take your mouse, manually control different parts of the face to
you did mention this. Yeah.
Exhibit the appropriate emotion for the conversation at hand.
Yeah.
And it
I
is
didn't catch the name
so
last
weird.
time. Yeah.
There's a lot of other games. Soma I've never played. It's a classic horror game now. I played Iron Lung last year or 2 years ago. I'm probably going to play it again because Iron Lung is a classic. Have you played that?
Just gonna keep moving my face until you get the joke that I'm.
Oh, what joke again? Say it again.
That I'm trying to make my face like match up.
Oh. It is like that though. Like you have to like literally go and like be like, oh, I'm set, and it'll pop up. It'll tell you like this is the face you're making. Like this is the emotion you're conveying. But like you have to think like, oh, well, what would a person do in that context? Would they be sad? Would they be happy? Like you could just like, oh, did you hear Jessica disappeared?
Good.
And they'd be like, okay. Another game I really want to play on stream is not a horror game, but it's Return of the Obra Dinn. And it's a roller coaster of like interest. I can see that you're yawning already, so we're off to a good start.
A roller coaster of interest.
Okay, so high point. It's a ship where everyone on board was killed. You play as an insurance agent who is tasked with going to investigate the ship for insurance purposes using a magic pocket watch that lets you go back to a single moment in time and observe its events. So It's like, but it's really cool. So like, it's like, okay, first thing is the captain got in a gunfight with people. Let me go back to that moment and see what was going on. So you can walk around in first person and like be like, the captain's here with his gun, and you can walk around him and look, see who he killed. You can actually roll credits by going in your little insurance book and being like, Captain Jones, or like it's the cook, this crewman. It's like a couple dozen people on board. This person was killed by the captain. This person was killed by the captain. This person was killed by the captain. And the captain was killed by the captain. And then you can roll credits and you're done. Like you didn't learn anything and you didn't actually play it, but you can be like, yeah, I did it. I did my job as an insurance guy. Captain killed all of them. Next.
That's kind of cool, actually. I love the concept of games that are open and flexible to like your engagement with them, and like there is only as much story as you put into the game. Like,
right. I may also play Alien Isolation on stream, which I've never played.
Awesome. It's a popular streaming choice.
Yeah, I've heard it's the best Alien movie that didn't get made. The alien in it has some pretty incredible AI, and it seems, I hesitate to use the word fun. It seems fun. It seems like an experience. Yeah. That's like when people asked me 12 years ago if they should play The Last of Us. Is it fun? Oh, absolutely not. But yes, you should play it for sure.
Cool.
That's what he's doing. That's Skittles Guy.